Hey, Grace Church, it's great to be able to connect with you. I hope you're taking advantage of this. It's like we're in timeout. It's like we're on sabbatical. And it's just a really great time to press into God and grow in your relationship with Him. I want to take a few days and just talk about the area of healing. I know there's a lot of concern in the world today about getting sick or catching the coronavirus and all of that stuff. But you know, God has given us an amazing promise to be our healer. And so I'd just like to take maybe a week or so and every day just talk a little bit about this area. You know, as a believer, as a Christian, I am not anti-doctor at all. I know sometimes people in the past, in order to stand and say they were believing God for things, they almost had to be anti-doctor. I don't think the scriptures ask us to do that at all. Doctors desire to help us, and you know, I think it's wonderful, but there is a truth that we need to understand, and it's this: doctors in medicine can only do so much. You know, oftentimes all they can do is mask the symptoms of something that we're struggling with. It's God who is our healer. And I'd just like to focus on that. I'm looking at Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. This is the passage where God reveals himself as Jehovah Rapha. I am the Lord, your healer. Now the context of this is the children of Israel had gone through the Red Sea. They'd had this awesome experience where they walked on dry ground. They come into this place and God causes the waters to come in and totally destroy their enemy. God gave them this amazing victory, and they begin to sing and they begin to rejoice. And I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. And then they got to this place called Marah. Let me read it. Exodus 15, verse 22. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea. Then they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days into the wilderness and found no water. Verse 23, now when they came to Marah, they could not drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. They were poisoned. They were diseased. They were not drinkable. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. Verse 24, and the people complained against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he cast it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a statute and an ordinance for them, and there he tested them, and it was there that he revealed himself as Jehovah Rapha. Verse 26, and he said, if you diligently heed the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you which I have brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. You know, in the Bible, water or waters often speak of people. In Revelations, in Ezekiel, the waters speak of the multitudes of people. And in truth, the multitude of mankind is sick. We have been poisoned. We have fallen from God's plan and purpose. Moses cries out to God, and God shows him a tree. That tree prophetically speaks of something so powerful. It actually speaks of the cross. God showed him a tree. And see, when you throw that tree into the waters, everything changes. 1 Peter 2, verse 24 and 25, who himself bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, having died to sins, might live for righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. This tree is a type, it's a picture of the cross. Moses took that tree and he threw it into the waters. The waters were healed. They were made sweet. They were made whole. And God says, I am the Lord who heals you. You see, God's answer for sickness in mankind, God's solution for the fallen nature of man, it's the cross. It is the answer to all of our problems. When we embrace Jesus Christ, who was crucified on the cross, he was buried in a tomb. and then he rose again from the dead. When we embrace Jesus Christ, we are embracing God's answer for every problem, including healing. Our salvation was purchased on the cross. Our healing was purchased on the cross. Our deliverance was purchased on the cross. Do you need healing in your physical body today? It was purchased for you on Calvary. All of that has been made available to us by Jesus Christ. It is freely given. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to work it up somehow. Solamente recibe. Only receive it. It comes by God's grace and by God's goodness. And God's healing power not only heals us, but it protects us from those types of attacks that come from the enemy. So I just want to encourage you to embrace afresh the cross of Jesus Christ. See, God showed Moses a tree. And when he threw that tree into the waters, all of a sudden they could drink the waters. The waters were made whole or healthy. And right there in that place, God reveals himself to the nation of Israel and to us today as Jehovah Rapha. I am the Lord, your healer. God bless you.